Okay guys, so today we will discuss about the relationship between the classes in Java. So I already uploaded the video, okay, in detail, like how we can make the relationship between the classes and object, and how we can implement in Java applications. But this video actually I am making only for interview purpose, you can say, because interviewer may ask some questions related to the uh, relationship between the Java classes or object. So the first interview question maybe interview can ask that what is the like how you can make the relationship and what are the relationship we can make in Java applications. The answer would be we can make the relationship between the classes in Java applications. First is the is a relationship, second is the has a relationship, and third one is the uses a relationship. So is a relationship we can achieve or we can implement with the help of inheritance, where one class is extending from another class, from an existing class. Okay, so this behavior called the, you can say, inheritance. Okay, where one class, child class, is inheriting from the parent class. So whatever property, whatever a behavior available in the parent class, those behavior child class can utilize. Okay, and here child class we are creating with the help of parent class. So this is the, you can say, tight relationship, you can say. Okay, this is not the loose relationship, because child class is extending from a parent class. So whenever you create the child class object, remember the parent class object must be loaded. Then the child class object will be created. Okay. The second, like the second category of the relationship, here we have a has a relationship. So has a relationship, we have a two type relationship. One is the weaker relationship, second one is a strong relationship. So in the weaker relationship we can achieve with the help of aggregation. So what is the aggregation relationship, you can say? What is the weaker relationship? So when it is about the two entity. So when one entity dependent on other entity, you can say, but the relationship would be loosely coupled, you can say. It won't be the tightly bound, it would be the loosely binded. Okay, so both entity object are related to each other, but they are loosely bound to each other. This is, you have to remember. Like I have an example here, I will tell you the example, like room and chair. So room is the separate entity, chair is also separate entity. Okay, but when you create the room object, it can have chair, it cannot have chair also. Okay, but still, even it is room not having chair, then also room object existency would be there. Okay, if you talk about the chair object, so you can create the chair object outside the room. Okay, so for creating the chair object you don't need the any room type object or any means chair object not dependent to the room object. Okay, and same thing, room object not dependent to the chair object, it can have or it cannot have, zero or many number of chair it can have, remember. Okay, so here room object is not dependent to any object, here you can say chair object. So this is the weak relationship, where uh, chair, you can destroy the room object, but chair object still would be there in the memory. You can still create the chair object without using the room object, without existence of room object. The third one is the strong relationship. This we can achieve with the help of, you can say, has a relationship. Okay, composition, you can say. This relationship, we'll talk about the composition, where one entity is tightly bound to the other entity. Here the relationship is totally strong relationship between the two entity. Here you can say, uh, let's say the example for this composition relationship we have here, you can say house has room. Okay, so if it is house, if you are going to create the house object, of course room must be there, otherwise without house room, without room we cannot create the house, remember. Okay, another example, you can say wall, room has wall. Okay, so if it is room, it must be dependent on wall object. Okay, so without wall you cannot create the room object, remember. So here actually you can say the wall object or room object is dependent on a room object. If it is about the room or house relationship, so room object is dependent on the, you can say, house object. Once you destroy the house object, room object will be destroyed automatically. Same thing, wall. Once you destroy the wall, room object will be destroyed automatically. When you talk about the relation between the room and wall. Another example I have, car has engine. Okay, so if you, because engine object is tightly bound with the car object, so when you create the car, the engine object must be there. So first engine object will be created, and that engine object will be, you can say, will be creating inside the car object directly. Okay, so if you destroy the car, the engine object will be destroyed, you can say. Okay, so thank you so much. And we have another relationship, sorry to forget, there is a one more relationship, uses a relationship, where you can say a driver, moving a car, driver